What's going on, folks? Happy hump day. Let's talk some recruiting. Am I right? I don't expect a ton of you in here today. That's fine. For those of you watching after the fact, we're doing this live. For those of you not watching live, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the case may be. Welcome to Waaaay Offsides. Let's see who's in this chat. Nicholas got here quick, man. Roll Tide, dude. Hope you're doing well. Got a pretty cool live going on tomorrow night that you guys need to be sure to check out. So mark your calendars. Make sure you're there. It's going to be awesome. Nick, man, you were all over the place in here. I'm going to buy a new car Friday or Saturday. What kind of car, Nick? Tell us. What are you getting, man? Eric, Roll Tide, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Don't be shy, guys. Leave a big Roll Tide in the comment section. Let me know what you're doing. Roll Tide, how you doing? Love the flower. Roll Tide, Roll Tide. Roll Tide. All right, yeah, the big news is the A-Day game. We'll touch on that just a little bit before we get into the recruiting stuff. Yeah, A-Day game will be at 1 p.m. Central Time on April 11th, for those of you who haven't heard. Kind of did a video talking about it earlier, discussing what the format's going to look like. Nobody really knows. Everybody's hoping that they bring back the actual A-Day game, the traditional format, but we'll see what happens. They didn't use the word game, and that makes me a little nervous. So we'll see. But I want to talk to you guys about recruiting because Alabama's on an absolute heater. Now, a lot of you feel certain ways about this staff, and I get it. I understand. They're not proven to you yet. That is fair. Hey, man, Lance, I posted the link like 2 hours ago, buddy. And I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you what we're doing. So just so we're like complete transparency. So sports content, especially Bama content creators, are like really struggling to get their content to break through YouTube right now. And the best way to do that is lives. So probably going to be doing a couple more pop-in lives over the rest of the week. Of course, we'll be live tomorrow night, and I have a special treat for you guys I'll tell you about in a little bit, so don't go anywhere. But yeah, probably going to be a game of horseshoes. Who knows? Who knows? But Lance, nothing to be upset about. You made it. But let's go back to the original topic. You guys are getting me off topic already. That's why the show is called Waaaay Offsides, folks. Alabama staff, whether you like them, don't like them on the field, you have to give them kudos in the recruiting department. They've recruited very, very well in their time in Alabama, especially considering who they replaced, right? So Alabama recruiting hasn't necessarily fallen off. That's promising. That's good. However, some people feel like the better roster philosophy is to build out of the portal with more experienced players. Alabama's showing that they're just simply not going to do that, right? They're going to get their guys from the high school ranks, develop them. They're trying to develop a culture at Alabama. We did an interview with Trent Seaborn last week. We did one with Xavier Griffin last fall, Jabarius Garor, who we'll talk about here in a little bit. And all of them talked about the culture at Alabama. Even Nick Abrams, he ended up going to Georgia, which was probably going to happen the entire time, but we did an interview with him, and he was discussing the culture at Alabama and how it's different than anywhere else he's gone to. And so I feel like that culture is being built in a way, hopefully, to establish longevity, continuity, keep guys that are recruited at the high school level in Tuscaloosa. Now, in terms of being in Tuscaloosa, the only person this staff has lost that they've recruited from the high school level is Micah DeBose. Now, I'm really hanging my hat on that statement, so hopefully it proves to be true when the portal opens again and they don't lose a bunch of these guys. So, but in terms of the roster philosophy, I don't know what the best philosophy is right now. I think we're kind of in this limbo. You can make an argument for the portal philosophy. I'm not going to, there you go. That's a great point. Great point. Yeah. Don't really, Ole Miss got players out of the portal and didn't win it. Same thing with Texas Tech. Now they were there. Roll Tide, Debut. How you doing? They were absolutely there. There could definitely be an argument made on either side. Okay. But I feel more confident and comfortable right now with Alabama sticking with the high school recruiting model. And they've done a daggum great job of it. I mean, they've done a phenomenal job of recruiting at the high school level. So I'm not complaining. Absolutely not complaining. So let's take a look right now. The 2027 class, what Alabama's going after. I'll explain. There's a lot of color coding and stuff on this graphic. It's okay. I'll explain it to you because I probably overcomplicated it. Now, this isn't cumulative. This isn't final. Recruiting is fluid. It's ever changing. It's always happening, right? But right now, Alabama is basically trying to lock in official visits, spring official visits, and early summer official visits, and they're locking some in for sure. So what you're going to see here are a bunch of guys that Alabama's name is associated, meaning they're active in their recruitment. There's a lot of other guys too, right? It's not just this list, but I honestly, we just didn't have enough room to put them all. So, but these are some of the big names that you're hearing out there, right? And so we're looking at it. The red names are names that have an official visit locked in. Okay. And then if they have the Alabama logo next to their name, it means they're already a hard commit to Alabama. So let's start talking about some of these. And I brought up Jabarius Garor out of Viger, the edge. Had him on last fall. Really cool guy. Everybody calls him Chicken. He's a 4-star edge from down there in Alabama, in-state guy. He did tell us when we interviewed him that he was going to take visits in other places, but he felt like it wasn't going to sway him much in terms of Alabama. I kind of tend to believe him. He's been locked in with Bama for a very, very long time, since summer of 2024, I believe. So he's been locked in with Alabama for a long time. It's going to be hard to get him to sway. I really like him a lot. He's got a lot of length, can grow into his body a little bit for sure. Alabama will put some weight on him, but Garor himself is already scheduled for another official visit. Now, somebody I'm really excited about is some people have him as a 3-star right now. I think he'll finish the cycle as a 4-star for sure. Colt Lumpras, tight end. All right. Now, Lumpras is 6'6". He's like 225, I think. Huge wingspan on this kid. I did a short on him earlier. Huge wingspan on this kid. Alabama, Kalen DeBoer and the staff, they love the receivers, tight ends, wide receivers. Lance, I don't know, dude. Sorry. Lance, you're throwing me off here, buddy. You're throwing me off. Okay. All right. But how they go after these guys that have huge catch radiuses. Look at Derek Meadows, right? Colt Lumpras is one of those guys that really, really excited about moving forward. Big physical tight end, could also use some weight, but a lot of these kids are juniors, and most of them are juniors in high school. So we'll see. Now, some more exciting names, some names that are going to tickle your fancy, if you will, who have official visits lined up with Alabama, or who have already been on visits, who have been visiting a lot, who you should really keep an eye out. Maxwell Hiller, 5-star interior offensive lineman. I know a lot of you guys are really excited about Maxwell, and for good reason. All right. He is the number 1 interior offensive lineman in this class. He's out of Coatesville, Pennsylvania. 5-star everywhere, 6'5", 300 pounds, is the number 2 player in Pennsylvania, the number 10 player in the state of Alabama. Now, Florida is pushing hard for him here. Alabama's in the mix. Tennessee's in the mix. Ohio State is in the mix. Those are the 4 schools that he has listed as his finals. Would love to see Alabama get him back on campus here very soon. Okay. Now, Junior James. Junior James is a newer name for some of you. You may not know who I'm talking about, and that is fine. But some of you from around the Birmingham area likely will have heard of Junior James. Played with Trent Seaborn over at Thompson. Trent actually has been recruiting him a little bit. He is a 3-star. He's at 89. He is the 36th ranked safety in the class. He's a 14th ranked player in the state of Alabama, 6'3", 192. And he also, I believe, has an official visit locked in. Now, all right, I don't want to go too fast. Let's go back and look. Let's see what you guys are saying. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think that when he does, Lance, it's going to kind of show what we're talking about with the philosophy of these big body wide receivers. It hasn't popped yet because there's been a lot of things wrong offensively, but I did a video discussing the offensive line. If that core issue is fixed, I think a lot of things feeds off of that, and a guy like Meadows will get fed for sure. So, Nick, yeah, we all love the in-state guys, man. Hey, look, and it was interesting between the 2025 cycle and the 2026 cycle. Everybody kind of was ragging on this staff because they didn't recruit well in the state of Alabama. But of course, they had just gotten into the state of Alabama. And then last year, outside of losing Tank Jones, they lose Naeem Offord the year before, but outside of losing Tank Jones, they absolutely dominate the state. So it'll be interesting to see with this new staff coming into Auburn, because Auburn's going to throw some money around for Alex Golish. So it'll be interesting to see how Alabama manages the state. But they are going to recruit very well in the state of Florida again this year, I think. So, no, I think Pruitt is likely to take the Maryland job. Lance, somebody in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's kind of favored to take that Maryland head coaching position right now. So, great question. But all right, let's get back to the recruiting talk. Yeah, just some other names that have some OVs coming up. Jaden Upshaw, 4-star wide receiver. For those of you, Alabama is recruiting heavily at the wide receiver position. And I know that may make some of you go, why? But they kind of have to, right? You potentially could lose Ryan Williams this season if he does what we all know he's capable of. Alabama also, since the 2022 season, has consistently lost a ton of wide receivers to the transfer portal. So they're planning on doing that again. He is a 4-star, 97 overall rated player. He's the 15th ranked wide receiver in the country. And I was just talking about Alabama recruiting out of the state of Georgia. He's out of Leesburg, Georgia, 6'1", 196. A lot of schools in play here, a lot of SEC names, a lot of money schools in play here too. Texas A&M, Florida, Auburn, and even Miami over from the ACC. So we'll keep an eye on him. He does have an official visit set up. I believe his is in late May, if I remember correctly. Some of these are going to be for A-Day. Some are going to be for late May. Obviously, the big official visit season is going to be over the summer. That's always a really fun time to follow those visits and talk to those recruits after they come off of them. We'll do a lot of that for you this year. Thank you, Lance. There we go. Oh, I thought it was HC. I don't know why. So we'll get a lot of those guys on for you. Some names to also watch: Monshun Sells, Elijah Haven. You've heard these names a lot. Mark Matthews, a 5-star offensive tackle. I think Alabama is going to really go after that tackle spot and that interior spot. I also think on the other side of the ball, they're definitely going to look at edge and defensive line, linebacker a little bit. You can kind of see the trends on the side of the tracker here. Nigel Newkirk, guy played for Gainesville over in Georgia, former teammate of Jamarian Matthews and Xavier Griffin, 3-star running back, somebody to keep an eye on. Of course, Trent Seaborn, you guys know him. He's got a visit coming up. Trent, we had on the show like a week ago. I really, if you guys haven't watched that interview with him, it was very informal. We try not to be too uppity when we talk to recruits because we don't want them to be uncomfortable, but that dude is an amazing young man. And just listening to him talk about what he hopes his legacy is at Alabama, his relationship with the Tagovailoa family, his faith, his journey, his football journey, it was really inspiring for somebody his age. I highly suggest, if you haven't listened to that interview, it's on the channel. Go give it a listen as soon as we're done here today. All right. 3-star cornerback Nash Johnson. He is a hard commit right now for Alabama. Keep in mind, those things can change. It's fluid. Recruiting's fluid. Things change. We just saw, I forgot the guy's name, but the safety out in California, Honor, that had, he was planning an official visit to Alabama, and then today he drops his final schools and Alabama's not on the list. It changes. It's fluid. Money changes these kids' minds. Their families change their minds. A lot of things go into their decisions. And so, it's just, it is what it is. It's the nature of the beast. So if you follow recruiting, you got to have a short memory, right? All right. Another guy that's kind of new to this whole thing is Mitchell Turner. He's not yet rated by anyone. I personally think if I was going to rate him, I'd give him 3 stars right now. I watched a little bit of film on him this morning via Huddle. He's a defensive lineman out of Louisville, Mississippi, 6'3", 275 pounds. You got a lot of SEC schools, of course, his home state schools, as in Ole Miss and Mississippi State, are in play here. Arkansas, Colorado, ton of schools vying for position. He will take an official visit, I believe, on May 29th to Alabama. He also has offers from Texas. So this is one of those recruits that's going to grow in his rating as we go along the cycle, and got to kind of keep an eye. Really, that's interesting. Thanks, Lance. I did not know that. I haven't seen that, man. I appreciate you going and finding that information for us. So it's your show, man. I'm telling you guys, like, you guys are the biggest part of this thing. All right. Let's go to the other side. Let's talk a little bit of defense. We've got some offensive guys over here like Caden Moss. Somebody to keep an eye out. Alabama's been in a lot of talk with him. They went and taken the helicopter to him a couple of times. Ole Miss is in play there. I think they're kind of leading the race with Moss right now. But we got a long way to go till December. Long way to go till December. All right. Brandon Lockley, 4-star linebacker. John Meredith III is one folks are talking about a lot. He's got that 5-star by his name. The cornerback, for those of you who don't know him, he is, this dude's a star, man. He's out of North Crowley, Texas. I think that's in the Fort Worth area. Composite 5-star guy. He's the number one player, technically nationally, number one cornerback in the country, number one player in Texas. 6'2", 175 pound. Got a long reach on this dude. Long reach. He's got he can play press. He can play man or off man. Competent, very competent dude. Track speed too, man. Like I'm trying to remember. I read Andrew Ivan's notes on him, so I'm trying to remember everything he said. But I watched a little bit of him. Super twitchy. This is a guy who could come in very much like a Dijon Lee Jr. and play as a freshman at this level. Alabama's heavily involved here. There are other schools. Obviously, Ohio State is in here, Kentucky, Virginia Tech, Texas A&M. Just about everybody and their grandmama's going after this kid. Texas wants him. SMU wants him. All the Texas schools. But right now, it kind of looks like a two-man race between A&M and Alabama. That's probably going to change, right? We still got a long time. These kids still got to play their senior season. But it's fun to talk about. But keep an eye on John Meredith III. Now, a kid I'm really excited about that I've talked to a couple of times in recruiting videos. I've actually reached out to him to try to see if we can't get him on the show here soon for you is edge, 4-star edge, KJ Green, another Georgia guy out of Stone Mountain, Georgia. Alabama staff has had a lot of success recruiting the state of Georgia. I think that they're hopefully trying to get a reach back down into Florida, kind of like Nick Saban had, almost like a pipeline. Same thing with Louisiana. It's going to be hard to get kids out of the state of Texas nowadays, but if you get Louisiana, you can maybe entice a couple out of that state. Alabama's recruited really well under the staff out of Alabama, but also out of the state of Georgia and out of the state of Mississippi. And this is another one. Now, this is a potential 5-star kid eventually. All right. He's the number 7 edge in the country right now. He's the number 63 player nationally. He's the number 6 player in the state of Georgia. 215, 6'4" edge, super long. Super duper long. What I like about this kid is his hands. If you watch him, he can do a lot with his hands. His technique is very, very good, especially at the level of football he's playing. Very, very explosive first step. He can kind of play inside. He can rush from outside. Very versatile player. I use that word a lot when we talk about these recruits that Alabama's going after, but that seems to be kind of their mindset in looking at these guys. More bang for your buck, if you will. So, agent, what's up? No, that's tomorrow, man. So tomorrow night, is our typical live. I was explaining this earlier. YouTube's kind of beating down Alabama content creators right now. And the best way to kind of push through that, like if you go watch, man, everybody's kind of, their views are down from where they normally are. So the best way to push through that is just to do some impromptu lives. So figured we'd talk a little bit of recruiting with you guys early. I don't have a lot of time this evening, so I figured to jump in here and talk some recruiting because everybody loves that. And so that's all. Do I think what's this, the emojis? What are you guys doing? So these are just kind of pop-in lives, agent. Our typical live is at 8 p.m. Central Time on Thursday. That'll be the big one tomorrow night. It'll just be me tomorrow evening, but I do have a surprise for you guys that we're going to talk about here in just a second. Now let's get back to it. Thank you, Eric. Definitely hit that thumbs up. I haven't even pushed. But we'll do that in a minute. All right. Xavier Sabb. Now this one feels good to me. Obviously it should, because Alabama now has both of his brothers playing for him, both of his older brothers, in Amari Sabb and obviously Keon Sabb. That doesn't necessarily mean that Alabama is going to lock it down, but Xavier Sabb is the number 1 overall athlete in this class. Okay. He's likely being recruited at the wide receiver position, 6'1", 180. He's out of Glassboro, New Jersey, just like his brothers. Alabama, this staff does go up north and get some guys sometimes. We've seen a few players come out of New Jersey. He's a composite 5-star via 247. 98 overall rating, number one player out of New Jersey, and is a top 25 player nationally. It's got some other schools involved in here: Florida State, Arkansas, Colorado, Duke's in there. Let's see, Notre Dame, Ohio State has offered him. JMU offered him. And so, but it's hard to not think that Alabama doesn't have the edge here, right? You know what I mean? It's hard to think that Alabama doesn't have the edge, being the fact that there's that pretty deep connection with this staff already. His brother just committed. Keon plays for Alabama. So we'll wait and see, but he does have an official visit coming up. Now, the big news that you've been waiting for, I'm pretty excited about this. Tomorrow night, Jeff won't be with me. It'll just be me. So sad, I know. But Averian Pauley Jr. Now, you guys may not know that name, but I'm telling you, by the end of this cycle, you absolutely will. Alabama is leading in his recruitment. I spoke with him today. He will be live with us tomorrow night to talk about his recruitment, his path to Alabama, who he is. He's a newer recruit that people are kind of getting their eyeballs on. He's 6'5", 265, out of McGill-Tulane down in Mobile. Now, because he's not rated, a lot of people are going to be like, well, who is this kid? I'll go ahead and tell you, he's got offers from a ton of folks, and he's going to have a lot more coming in. Tennessee's involved here, Ole Miss, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Miami, Ohio, Mississippi State, Western Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky. But I do believe as more people discover this name, he's going to start to get more and more and more offers. So maybe we shouldn't have him on tomorrow night so that nobody knows who he is. Maybe that's what we should do. I'm just kidding. But we'll be live at 8 p.m. Central Time tomorrow night. Paulie's going to join us about 8:15. So make sure you jump in. Jeff's a good dude. He's just, I think he's got something going on with his family. I was out of town last week. He was supposed to cover down and just canceled the show. I won't do that to you guys. We will have a live tomorrow night. And not only will I do that, I brought a recruit. We'll bring a recruit on for you guys to chat with and have a good time. But you have to behave. Lance, agent, you have to behave. Promise. Promise. Bill's the one that's still on the run. You guys want me to bring Bill back on the show? Yes or no? Let's see what you got to say. I want to see your thoughts on this. I also have something funny to tell you guys. Just freaking emojis, man. All right. Anyway, let's carry on. So yeah, Paulie will be on tomorrow night with us. I know you are, agent. I know you're trying. You keep going, buddy. Just emoji it up. Have fun. So Anthony Sweeney, 5-star edge, has a upcoming official visit with Alabama. Caden Moss, we already talked about, somebody to keep an eye out for. Alabama, again, you look at the trend here. I do think this is going to end up being a defensive-heavy class. I think it needs to be, especially along the linebacking position, the defensive line position. You can see the rest of the names. Sorry, Bert. I'm laughing. He said, we will not behave. Just a ton of guys. Now, a lot of these guys are going to end up locking in official visits with Alabama. They're going to, just because they're not in red, for those of you just joining or maybe watching not live, red are guys who already have official visits lined up. Just because they're not red doesn't mean they're not going to take an OV to Alabama. Just because they're taking an OV to Alabama doesn't mean they wind up at Alabama. Just like if they have the logo next to their name, meaning they're a hard commit, means they end up signing with Alabama late in the year. It's all fluid. It's all relative, baby. It's recruiting. It's a good time. So, yeah. So I think Alabama, I'm excited, man, just because I know a lot of people got really down in the dumps regarding the portal effort or the portal class. And I understand it. I get why they did. But at the same time, man, I really do think the staff is killing it on the recruiting trail. They're out. I mean, they are killing it, dude. And I think Alabama's got a legitimate shot at landing the number one class. There's a lot of things that have to happen right, but they've got a staff of really good recruiters. They brought in a couple of really good ones this cycle in Adrian Clem and Derek Nix. We shall see, right? We'll see how it goes. All right, let's go back to the chat. Y'all are so bad, man. Y'all are just so bad. For those of you watching not live, the chat's misbehaving on the live. Which, by the way, I got to tell you guys today, I got a really nasty comment on a video, and the guy said, "Your videos are just painful. I'm out." And I have to assume he's talking about some of the technical issues. Look, man, I got no control over what StreamYard does. I am using a different software to do regular uploads, so they're not, ridiculous. But if any of you are IT experts and want to, reach out and go, "Hey, I'll help you," you can email me. Okay, I'm gonna put the email down here. You can email me, and we will 100% take a look at it together and see if we can't figure out what's wrong with StreamYard. If it is StreamYard, it might just be me. I don't know, but you guys tell me. But the uploads, we're using a different program to do it now. Haven't had time to jump into streaming from there yet. But if StreamYard doesn't get their mess together, we probably will. So, all right. Hey, buying a Dodge Ram. Okay, man. 1,500. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm probably gonna trade in my Gladiator this year for a Tundra. I want me a brand new Tundra. My screen fell. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Everything's fine. Things happen. Stuff happens. Stupid cat. Anyway, all right. You do, Lance? What year you got, man? Tell me in the comment section below. The horsepower to run the app. Are you talking about StreamYard? Bird, just email me, man. I know how to unplug it and plug it back in. Hey, okay, go ahead, Lance. All right. I'm not buying yours, man. Good try. So, hey, for those of you who are new here and just now watching, there's not a ton of you. We're live a little early. People are getting off work, eating dinner. I get it. Do me a favor. Go ahead and subscribe. Like I said, right now is a really tough time on social media for Alabama sports creators, it just is. I don't know. I think we all made YouTube mad. Who knows? But every time you comment on a video, Agent, Nick, a lot of you guys have been under shorts. I know I'm posting a lot, trying to break through that wall with YouTube, but a lot of you have been commenting on everything, man. And I really do appreciate that. It really, really helps the channel with the algorithm. You see, we can go from getting a couple thousand views per video to only getting like 200. YouTube just kind of does that sometimes. And so you guys help a lot with busting through that algorithm. So thank you very much. And I hope that you're all having a fantastic hump day, baby. But all right, yeah, tomorrow night live, 8 p.m. Central Time. We'll have Paulie Jr. on with us, and we'll have another recruiting interview. Like I said, I'm working on some guys like KJ Green. Was going to try to get the guy from the West Coast, but since he dropped Bama out of his top schools, he can kick rocks. We only worried about Crimson over here. So thanks for hanging out with me. Hope that you're all enjoying your week. Like I said, please be safe out there. Say your prayers, read your Bibles, wash your hands, horns down. Subscribe to the Daggum channel. Share it too. Roll Tide, y'all.